All right. Welcome. October 3rd, Monday. This is the first episode of Talk Nerdy to Me. I got my classic t shirt here. Look like I'm dressed up. So, looks like business, but I'm here to party. So, the point of this vlog is to really just start getting news out there about cybersecurity threats, IT tips, anything I can share to help businesses stay safe out there. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening, so we'll try to keep everyone posted as often as I can. All right, here goes. I'll give you some brief news. I'll keep it short and sweet. First one, Microsoft Exchange, 0-day vulnerabilities. Administrators should install a script to mitigate two unpatched 0-day vulnerabilities in their on-prem email servers. This discovery was made by researchers at a Vietnamese firm. They say the holes affect Exchange servers 2013, 2016, and 2019. The first vulnerability is a server-side request forgery. And if an attacker is able to exploit that, then they can remotely trigger the second vulnerability, which allows remote code execution through Exchange PowerShell authentication, access to the vulnerable Exchange server. So Microsoft, in order to combat this, has released a URL rewrite script to mitigate the server-side request forgery. The script is a blocking rule and will automatically be added to customers who have the Exchange Server Mitigation Service enabled. Microsoft says it's only seen these attacks within 10 organizations so far, and they suspect a nation state is behind the exploitation. In other news, this is a kind of a crazy one. The Central Intelligence Agency, over a decade ago, the CIA, they, for their sources to keep the communications secure, they created a bunch of websites they would use locally. This comes from a report by the researchers at the University of Toronto Citizens Lab. So the websites that they created were in local languages, and they appeared to be real websites. So they would be like news, sports, maybe local news, whatever. They looked like legitimate websites. But the search box within each site was actually a login box. So each site, for security reasons, each site could only be used by one source. But the researchers figured out that the CIA apparently bought sequential IP addresses to set up all of these communication networks for their agents. So if you knew that one site was suspect, you would automatically assume that the sequential IP addresses would be suspect as well if you saw that they had 100 of them in a row, all bought by the CIA. They also had very similar designs, so most likely they were designed by the same person. And why is this significant? So back in 2018, Yahoo News reported that this network was compromised by China and Iran. And actually, Reuters just released a more detailed story on this with what happened to one agent in Iran specifically. But apparently, it led to the arrests and death of residents in those countries that were recruited to work for the CIA. I'll look up that story, and I'll throw the link in the description so you can read more about it. It's really fascinating and kind of a crazy story. Finally, at last week's Virus and Security Conference in the Czech Republic, there was a case study that was presented of a targeted phishing campaign, and this was believed to have been launched over a year ago by the North Korean-based Lazarus Group. The targets were an employee of an aerospace company in the Netherlands and a political reporter in Belgium. So both were sent emails with infected job offers. Now, the aerospace worker got theirs in an attachment sent by LinkedIn messaging, and the reporter got theirs in an email message. So they were trying to exploit a vulnerability in the driver on a Dell computer. Now, the important thing to note here is that it doesn't really matter where you get the message from. We have to remind all our employees and really everyone just to stay vigilant, because any message service can be used to deliver malicious attachments. So even if it's a job offer, unless you really know the person and it's legit, which is not always easy to verify, don't click on the attachment. Anyways, that was my first episode of Talk Nerdy to Me. I'll try to break things down in more detail for everyone. I know some of this stuff's not very exciting, but it is important for us to stay safe. and secure with our data, especially for businesses, and not only for businesses, for everyone. But there's a lot of stuff going on out there. So I try to break things down for y'all as much as I can, as often as I can, without keeping it boring. I try to keep it lively. Have a great day. Have a great week. Take care.